Hello, everybody. So glad you guys could hop on for our new ambassador coaching. We do this monthly. Typically, it's the first Tuesday of each month. But this month, because it was a holiday weekend, we bumped it out a week. So we're so excited that you're here. And I thought that I would just really quick refocus everybody. Okay, some of you may be coming off the holiday weekend going, what am I doing in my business? I have not thought about Plexus since the end of last month, or maybe you're just tapping back in. Maybe you just started and you're like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. So everyone, hang on real tight because I'm going to just blitz through real quickly what the focus needs to be for this month. So if you have a pen and paper, you can write this down. My focus is adding 4, developing a silver, and retaining 3. Now, this is network marketing language for those of you who are very new. Maybe you haven't even signed your first person yet, but welcome to Plexus. This is what we're going to start doing. We're going to start helping people feel their best and the ones that want to build businesses. Okay. Now, some of you may be going, I have never added 4 people. Welcome to July. This is customer acquisition month, and it is stacked for you to have success in your business. And if you can't go there in your mind that you are completely capable of helping 4 people, then we're going to change that story and that script in your brain so that you know, starting out in July, by the end of the month, you are going to have blessed at least 4 people in your life, helping them get started. You're going to have helped at least one person go silver. Okay. And reminder, it's the act of trying and starting that conversation. Okay. And then if you had customers from last month, your goal is to retain at least 3 of them. Now, for those of you who have already seen the fun incentive for the month, the Creamy is on the line. It is amazing. I go on for Christmas. You want one of those. Or like if you're like me and you're going, hey, I'll get another one. I'm sure I can gift it or use it for, other things or have 2 going at one time. So reminder, our businesses grow based on the number of conversations we have. And so if you are not in conversation every single day for the days that you work Plexus, your business will not be growing. And if you want your business to grow more, you need to have more conversations. Okay. So reminder, we're in the business of helping people, and this is the work. Okay. Reaching out, following up, posting, going live, doing your stories, right? And then the most important thing is helping them get started. Okay. I remember Jessica Heffley saying years ago, we can only help them if we actually help them get started. And I want to encourage you guys to show up in a bolder, bigger way than you have in the past. And the and the basic PLLP is what we lead people through to help them go silver. But those of you who are not silver yet are going to lead yourself through PLLP. Maybe you don't have a sponsor that's mentoring you. It's okay. You have us, and we're here to tell you the PLLP, okay, which is a very simple acronym that stands for post. You're going to make a list. You're going to go live. You're going to do a party. Okay. And I have more extensive training on this if you guys want to check it out. But basically, rinse, wash, repeat. If at any point you get stuck in your business, that's what you do with yourself. And then you find out who from your team you're able to lead through the PLLP also. Makes it so simple. There's no question as to what you're doing every day. And it keeps it very simple and very basic. And this is the work. This is the work that we do. It's the work that I've done for the past 9 years. And so I just wanted to refocus ourselves for the month of July because that is the name of the game. This is the name of the game. And we're so excited to help you new people start to learn the ropes. So Carissa, are you coaching first or am I? What works?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm game. So, Jonna, are you on? Is Jonna on, Megan? Okay, Jonna, can you unmute? So again, if this is anyone's first time on our Zoom, I'll just chat. I'll just chat with Jonna about what's working well and about what she thinks might be keeping her from growing or could potentially be standing in her way. And we will work on problem solving and we'll work on any doubts, nerves, or fears or beliefs that might be part of what is holding her back. And we'll just chat for about 15 minutes, and then I'll kick the floor over to Megan, and she's going to chat with Ashley tonight. And then just a quick little plug. My team is doing a silver thread. So tonight's kind of our kickoff. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to work through a week of fun, simple action steps to help anyone who wants to go silver or senior silver and is brandy new to Plexus and making it an income stream. So if you're not in our silver thread, make sure and chat with your Plexus sponsor person and get plugged into that. Okay, so Donna, I was giving you a little chance to get unmuted. Can you? Okay, good. You're unmuted. So why don't you tell everyone, hey?
Hi.
Hey. Okay, I know a little bit of background for you. I know that you started Plexus with Megan and that she asked you if you wanted to help some friends, get the word out, and that you fast started silver. So congratulations. You helped 3 people get started right out of the gate. And then I also heard that you fast started senior silver last month. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's roughly 9 people that you got started on products. Now, let me ask you this. Did you personally get all of those 9 people started, or did you help any of your VIPs refer a friend?
I personally got them started.
Okay, fantastic. So way to go. So that's awesome. So the first question I have for you is like, what have you been doing that's working well? Because clearly you have successfully gotten 9 people started. So that's awesome. So what's been working well?
Well, a lot of it is like because let me give you a little bit of like background history for like my health because I struggled with hormone imbalance for like 10 years and it had gotten so bad where I would like bleed for like any up to 7 months at a time and I was borderline anemic anyways, but then I was getting so bad that I ended up having to have 2 blood transfusions and an iron infusion. And then, I had PCOS and then I have the non-fatty liver thing because of all that was going on. Um, and then it got to where they're like, oh, well, now you're diabetic and you need to try this. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to keep trying all this stuff because I don't think it's helping me. I feel like there's something else. And I've been trying to talk to my doctors for years. We had been trying to get pregnant and have children of our own, and it just wasn't working. And we went to a fertility doctor and they're just like, you just need to lose weight. You just have a hormonal imbalance. Here, just take this stuff. And I'm like, well, I really don't want to do birth control and all this other stuff. And it just wasn't, I felt like my issues weren't being addressed. I felt like I was just taking steps, but it wasn't like it was masking the symptoms, but wasn't healing it. And it just felt like it was getting worse and worse. And so when I did finally reach out to Megan, and I was nervous at first because my friend Laura she had first talked to me and was trying to get me with Plexus, and I told her no. And I kind of got scared because she had put me in a 3-way with Megan, and I didn't know who she was at first. And I'm like, I'm not talking to someone I have no idea who they are about my health. I'm like, I don't know her. But I kept watching Megan's post and things, so I was kind of a little bit stalking her a little bit kind of online because I was like, well, you know what? I don't have anything else to lose, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And so when I started taking the products, like I felt different like right away. And so and the way my hormones and everything was so out of whack, I couldn't stop bleeding until I had to take like a birth control pill or something like that. And it didn't always work. And when I did take them, it made my periods even worse. Like I'd pass clots like the size of my fist and everything. And it was just horrible. But since being on Plexus, my periods are light and they stopped on their own. And I don't know, I've got a lot more energy. I sleep better. I just can tell like there's a difference in my body and it feels like I feel normal. I want to say like I feel like I used to feel. and I'm just excited over that. And so I've been like just telling people about it, and like we foster, and so the baby we have has some health issues, and so we have different people like Birth to Three and different therapies that are in and out of our house and stuff. So I've been talking to them as we do therapies and stuff like that. And so I've got one of them already signed up, and one that says they were a previous Plexus person and hadn't ordered in a while, and so she's planning on ordering again in July. So we just, I don't know, I just kept telling them about, you know, the change in me. And then I got my mom on it, and she's like, you know what, this is different. She goes, because my mom had been constipated for a long time, and they were giving her Miralax and having her do enemas and all this other stuff, and it wasn't working. And so I gave her one of mine, and she was able to go like, and it, I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but it is kind of, we kind of joke about it now because it hit her so quick. She's like, oh no, she didn't know what was going to happen. She had to like hurry up and get to the bathroom. But
Yeah.
she's like, you know, this is huge. She goes, so she tells everyone, you know, if you're constipated, take some of this because it'll help you. And so,
Okay,
and then I got
let
my
me chime in real
husband.
quick. I want to give everybody a little tip based on what you've said. So let me chime in real quick. Everybody, every time you hear an amazing testimony like that, I want you to jot it down in whatever your post ideas list is, because you are seeing Jonna in person. You know she's legit. You know she's real. So now you have a testimony not only for constipation, which her mother was dealing with, but also people that are dealing with excessive bleeding, long periods. Like, that's a really interesting, unique story. And while you may not want to go post that to your public feed, you can go to her wall and grab her photo and reach out to somebody that you know deals with something like that and say, okay, I just met a girl tonight and this is her story. So I just wanted to chime that in there real quick, Jonna, because it's so important for us to be kind of collecting ideas like that. And let me also point something else out that I heard with what you were saying. You didn't trust Megan at first because you didn't know her from Eve, but you kept watching and she kept posting over time. And so many people, they say, okay, I'm ready. I want to do this. And they start getting the word out there a little bit. And then when the fruit doesn't instantly start falling off the tree, they go, oh, I guess it doesn't work for me. Or I guess I'm not cut out for this. I'm no good at this. And they stop posting. And then everybody in their audience goes, oh, yep, I told you it was going to be a fad for her. It was a passing fad. She's done with that. So I want everybody on this call to understand that when you continue to post over the long term, you build trust. And Jonna just said, I did not know Megan at all. But over time, as I continued watching her posts, I eventually got to the point where I trusted her enough to get started. And how long was that? Just curious.
Um, well, I think it probably about a year, because I know I had worked with Laura and she really wanted to get me on the products, and I was just wasn't too, I was kind of skeptical at first.
And a lot of
And
people. And honestly, smart shoppers should be skeptical in this day and age because there's a lot of stuff out there. So we should all have that sticking power to say, you know what? She watched posts for a year and then she decided she was ready and she fast started silver and senior silver. Are you guys willing to keep posting for a year if a year from now somebody who has been having 7-month periods is finally going to be ready to buy from you, and then they instantly build a team of 9 people strong? I hope everybody is giving me this resounding yes, I'm willing to post for a year if it means helping someone like this break free, and if it means I add a new senior silver leader leg to my team. So I want everybody on here to really, I want to hit that point home, is that was because Megan kept posting, even though that little seed that had been planted with Jonna was just sitting there for a whole year, did not sprout, did not bud. Nothing was going on except under the surface, trust was being built. And then she was ready to start. And then look at what has happened in her health. And understandably, you're so excited about it. You're telling your mom, you're telling your foster, your caseworkers, you're telling everybody. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. Well, what if you had to guess, like what might be keeping you from continued growth? What would you say? Because let's tackle that.
I would say mine would be, so like I used to work at the school, and so when I got the baby, he had a lot of health issues and everything. So I've just kind of was home a lot, or 2 appointments back and forth. So I didn't like get out a whole lot other than like with that. So I was still meeting people, but it was like I didn't have a lot of time to actually talk to people. So that was one of the things. But I am very much an introvert. So I get nervous. And so a lot of it is in my head, and I just have to tell myself, you can do this. So
good for you. So you're already doing a little bit of self-coaching. You're already taking that thought of I'm an introvert and saying, okay, that's true, but I'm not going to let that limit me. I can do this. And hopefully you should confirm this for me, but when you get out there a little bit and you do something that you thought you were too scared to do you feel empowered? Do you feel stronger than before?
Yes. Because I know, like, I had never done a live before, and I've done a couple of them now, and I feel better about it each time I do it. It took me a while because first I was like, I feel kind of stupid. I don't really like doing this. And then I thought, you know what? Everyone struggles with this when they first start. Everyone worries about how they're going to look and what people are going to think. I'm like, I'm just going to choose not to let that bother me.
I love it. That is so amazing. Okay. Everyone struggles when they first start. So again, you are doing some self-coaching without even realizing it. You're choosing thoughts that are actually moving you forward. So that thought, everybody struggles when they first start. I can do this. That's really powerful. And anybody on the call that has struggled in the same way, if you think you're somehow unique, that you start off and you may not naturally be really good at this, not unique. Everybody struggles when they first start. And we've all overcome it. And so can you. And what I'm pointing out to Jonna is that the overcoming is actually in the doing. We don't overcome the fear by just finally getting to a point where we're not scared and then we go act. No, that is not how fear is overcome. Fear is overcome by actually doing the scary thing and realizing you didn't die. And I can vouch for it exactly what you're saying, Jonna, because when I first started, I had certain people that I was like, oh, I don't want to reach out to them. I'm so scared to reach out to them. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then I finally just like made myself do it. And the feeling was addictive because I realized, oh my gosh, if I can do that and not die, what else can I do? And you start to do that next scary thing and you realize, oh my gosh, I didn't die then either. So it builds on itself. It's like a domino effect. And if you will take that one scary step, you will feel braver. You will not feel braver if you just keep avoiding the next scary step. Actually, what happens is your world just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You eventually become one of those people who doesn't leave their house. If you decide to cave and never do things that you're scared to do. So the opposite is true. The more scary things you do, the braver and braver you feel, the braver you get, the more your comfort zone expands and grows. Okay, so sounds like you're already overcoming that one. Like, yes, you're an introvert, but you're really working, you're doing the self-coaching. Everybody struggles when they first start. I feel a little stupid going live, but it's getting easier. I'm doing it and it's getting easier. So I feel like you're on a great track with that one. You also said you just don't get out much. So that's a good thing to be aware of because it's pretty easy for most of us to text like our 5 ride or dies, like our mom, our husband, and our BFF. Be like, will you please try this with me just to support me? Okay, so if you're on the call and you haven't done that yet, that's step 1, is text your ride or dies and say, will you please do this to support me? Let's see what happens. What's the best that could happen? But that's just like the inner circle. And then we've got to expand and reach out to the circle beyond that and the circle beyond that. And then eventually you're like, wait a minute, I feel like I've kind of reached out to everybody. And then you've got to understand that the world is full of people who need this for their health, who need this for their finances. How am I going to meet them? How am I going to get out there and continually be warming up my cold markets? So let's chat about that. Used to work at the school. Have you reached out to all your connections from your coworkers?
Not all of them. I have reached out to many of them though.
Awesome. So you don't get out much. What are some ways that you think you could start to build relationships and expand your network?
Well, I know with my little guy being in birth to 3, I am planning on, because some of his appointments and things are being pushed farther out, so they're not like as close together. So I am planning on getting out and doing some more things, and being able to talk to those ladies that are in his group and stuff like that too. And I know I've done a couple of the wellness events, and I am super excited over this sweet tea one because I am wanting to do like a little tea party theme one. So I'm hoping to do that because I think that'll be, I don't know, I'm just excited over it.
That's a good idea. So yeah, you can start doing play groups. You can maybe host some things. I know you're hosting events, wellness events, but yeah, a lot of people just don't have the idea. And so if you're the one that says, hey, I'm getting some mamas together for a brunch and a play date, sometimes it's just being the one that creates the gathering. How often do you post?
I try to post at least 2 I try to do the business one every day, and I try to do a Plexus one every day, and then I've been trying to do the question ones to try and engage people.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, everyone on the call, I think a really great rule of thumb is to cycle through 4, maybe 5 things. 1, cycle through, show your face. Get your face up there, whether it's live or a photo. Number 2 thing would be make recommendations beyond Plexus, because the social media is about building trust. And so making recommendations for other things in life that really bless you, bless your family, make your day easier, make your week go better. That's a really important part of adding value online, and adding value to others is how you establish trust and rapport with your audience. If you're somebody who is used to treating social media like a place to just consume, this is a little mental shift, because now you're thinking about social media as a place to create and a place to add value to others. So show your face, make recommendations, call to comment, which Jonna just talked about. So little one-liners that just compel people to click the like button, click the love button, or actually comment. So anything like that. And you see these kinds of things all the time, but start yourself a little saved collection of call to comment posts, so that when you're, after you've done those other 2, you can cycle through and just put something out there that generates a lot of buzz and a lot of comments. And then 4th and 5th thing would be talk about Plexus from a health product standpoint, and talk about Plexus from a money-making standpoint. All right. And recently we learned at convention to call it an income stream instead of calling it an opportunity or a business. The verbiage is always changing, right? Because the marketplace is always changing. So the hot phrase right now is income stream. So make sure you're cycling through talking about wonderful, cool health stories, product things, and talking about the blessings of this as an income stream. So what kinds of things the money allows you to do: breathing room, date nights, extra at the grocery store, talking about things like this, just the encouragement and community that you have available to you, the number of people that are invested in helping you reach your goals. Those make great posts too. And then Jonna, you said you've been going live?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give a few suggestions? Like what have you done live videos about?
Like whenever I get a package, I like to open it online and then just talk about what it is that I got and like explain a little bit about the products as I'm doing it. So
Perfect.
I'll do that, or sometimes like I'll just go live just to maybe talk a little bit about like maybe my day, or um something that may not necessarily be Plexus, just so people will watch and help boost the algorithm.
Yes. And I heard you say too that you're very excited about what's going on with your health. And so that energy and excitement completely shifts how you show up in your posts, how you show up in videos, and how you show up in conversations. And so, anyone on the call, if you're not feeling excited or you're not feeling full of belief, ask yourself, what can I do to raise my belief? What can I do to raise my excitement level? Maybe it's start off before you reach out to people, watch an awesome video, watch a testimony in the Real People, Real Stories page, or watch a Diamond documentary and consciously take responsibility for lifting your excitement level, your energy level, because honestly, that improves your response rate. I mean, I would so much rather than sending 40 messages and hearing back for one. I would rather consciously take 5 or 10 minutes to raise my excitement level and then hear back one for every 10 messages that I sent. And so we can also improve our response rate by channeling that excitement that you're talking about. Okay, so real quick before we kick it over to Megan, do you have a goal for July for your
I am wanting to be gold.
golden
Um,
July?
yes, I would like to be gold. So I am pushing towards that. I am also working on trying to find my leaders because I do not have leaders yet. So I have been, I have some members on my team that I feel would be good leaders if I could get them to do that, but their confidence is not built up enough yet. So we've been working on that.
Okay. Yeah. How can you help raise their confidence?
Well, one of the ladies, I keep telling her because she's online and she posts stuff all the time anyways. And I was like, you're already doing it. I'm like, you can do this. I know you can. She's like, but I don't know if anyone, I'm like, she's like, I don't have anyone. I said, you have your husband. I said, your mom used to do Plexus. I'm like, talk to your mom. So we've been working on it.
Good. So you're giving some good suggestions. Have you tried telling her exactly what to post for her first post?
Um, I have not. She did a shout out post for me, so I did have her do that. She keeps saying she doesn't want to do the business right now. So, but I keep hoping that she will eventually change her mind.
Oh yes, keep hoping and keep dripping. And sometimes it's just little tweaks in how we're talking about it. Sometimes it's coming back and saying, okay, I know you don't want to start a business right now. I totally get it. But I can help you reach out to 5 friends and help them get a free reset this month. Because who wouldn't want a free reset this month, and who wouldn't want to feel amazing? So, and you could just word it to her that way, like, okay, did you know that you can still earn like over $400 cash back in your pocket referring friends, even if you're not going to turn it into a business? You know, sometimes you can just take it to a more casual level like that. Okay, fantastic. I'm really glad that because I think that you can totally do that this month. Are you caring for your customers? Are you reaching out, checking on them for their?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what you'll need to do is get a little piece of paper out and make sure you know who all is going to reorder this month. And that's going to count towards your total. And then you're going to figure out how many more you need. How many more do you need besides those who are going to reorder for you to hit gold? Do you know that number?
I do not.
Okay. So do you have, I know your team probably has this. Have you seen this on any team pages?
Yeah, I've got that right in front of me actually.
Okay, perfect. So there's a page in there that tells you exactly what you need for each rank. And that's what you'll use to do your Plexus math to figure out how many more new people you're going to bless this month to hit gold.
Okay.
And you're already doing this too, but keep on in your posts, keep on talking about the blessings of the income stream. Because when you start attracting those people who are here for health and the income stream, you'll be able to help them add their 3, add their 6, add their 9 right out of the gate. And that's going to push you to gold real quick.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, girl. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Okay. Megan, you ready?
Yes. Ashley, are you ready? You can go ahead and unmute. I noticed there's quite a few Ashleys, so wasn't sure which Ashley I'm talking with. Oh, hey. Hello.
Hello.
Love your earrings. So cute. Okay, so I perused your rank up strategy, some of your worksheets and stuff. So a few things that I gleaned is that you ended last month at 24 points, but you're wanting, like Jonna, to go gold in July. Totally possible. The incentives are stacked to help everyone have like a really high customer acquisition month, and really helpful for everybody that starts that can offer a free reset combo to their mom, their bestie, their hubby, so they can turn right around and at least get a +1 by grabbing a buddy. Everyone's mom or hubby typically would do it if they ask them to. So do you know how many people that you need this month in order to hit gold? Do you have that?
16, I believe. Yeah, 16 orders.
Okay. All righty. And tell me what you have kind of worked on so far this month. I was looking at your KPI sheets and things like that.
So far, I've just been trying to make conversations with people. Like, I just feel like every month I'm hitting up the same people that are tell me they're interested, but then they don't follow through. And so just trying to make more connections and having more conversations with people and just introducing Plexus as I can. So.
Okay. So here's my list of people, my pool of people that are the fence sitters. They're just happy sitting there. I swing back around. I mean, some of them I have these conversations with like every single month or a couple, every time, every time there's a special. I chatted with one today. I'm like, Jody, am I annoying you? Like, she's like, no, I love it. I'm like, well, get started, girl. That is holding you back, my Atlanta. I've literally I met her right after I had Abigail. So this has been like an almost 4-year-long conversation, but I know girlfriend is going to start at some point. So yes, keep that running list going. But the key to going gold is going to be the other 900 Facebook friends or connections that you have outside of those 20, 30, 40 people that are just like sitting there like a bump on a, So tell me about where you're going to get the new conversations from.
I've been going through my friend list, Julia. She's my sponsor. So that's what we did just the other night. We went through and I just started messaging friends I hadn't talked to in a long time and just started making conversations and then posting on people's when I see things that they're doing, going to other people's pages and not just the people that show up on my I guess my news feed. So seeking out those new people.
And when you're reaching out, are you reaching out specifically about Plexus or you're just connecting with them?
Connecting. Unless I see that they are making a post about specifically like something health related, then I'll mention Plexus. But right now I'm just trying to make a lot of new connections with old people that I haven't talked to in a lot of years.
Okay. There's value there. I'm of the mind of if I'm reaching out, I'm really bold about what I'm messaging them, because your expectation is that they turn into a customer, right? And that you have that turnaround pretty quick. So what I'm going to have you do, I promise you won't die. You can get the t-shirt to prove it. I did not die. Those connections that you're making, I want you to actually message them directly about Plexus. And I'm going to share with you my conversation, my 28-second message that I sent to Brandy Hutchins last summer. Jessica Heppley, I think, just said like randomly, message 5 people. Don't overthink it. Message them directly. And this has honestly been my MO since the beginning because like, and I do connection messages sometimes, like there's seasons where I'll do that, but I'm looking to help as many people as fast as possible. And I want to crack open the conversations to see if there's any interest. And sometimes there's interest immediately. A lot of times there's no response. And sometimes it starts a conversation that ends up coming into fruition. Like they start the products for the business a month, a year, 5 years. And some conversations I'm in that are 9 years long and they haven't started yet. Okay. Let me see. Where did it go? Hang on, I'm gonna find it. Cassie Howard found it recently. I thought we pinned it. Where did it go? Oh wait, hang on. I'm looking for the messages from this. Cassie, are you on? Maybe it was 19 seconds. Hang on. Oh, here we go.
She's going to tell you that she bumped it.
Here we go.
Brandy, it looks like we've never connected before, but
hang on. Let me slow it down.
Brandy, it looks like we've never connected before, but it looks like we have mutual friends. So I'm not sure how we originally ended up connecting, but just wanted to reach out real quick because I'm letting Facebook friends know about some supplements that just really helped me over the past 8 years. And I just love helping people feel their best. So let me know if you would be open to learning more about it. If it's not something that's on your radar and you're not interested, no worries. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Again, I didn't know her. I don't know how we connected. I had some mutual friends. We know some of the same people, but she actually messaged back and was like, yeah, I'm actually looking for a different supplement line. Told me she would not share. And she was, she wasn't interested in a business, but she's like, yeah, I'll get started on the products. So that was last July, I think. By September, she was like, is Brandy on? Where are you, Brandy? Maybe you should just be talking.
She's done. But she's got her camera off, so she may not be.
Anyway.
I'm on.
So where'd you go?
I'm here.
So then in September, you were like, hey, I actually really like this stuff. I still don't see you. There you are. Okay. And then tell Ashley what happened.
So I made a post, which is something that I was never going to do. I think Megan asked me, I don't know. We tell this story all the time. And every time I say it's more than it was, but she asked me like 572 times if I wanted to post or just like share and like just with your mom. She kept saying like with your mom or a sibling. And I was like, no. And anyway, the products worked and I wanted to shout it from the rooftop. So I came home and I made this big post. I opened up about a lot of issues that I had been having that I hadn't been open about because I was embarrassed about like how run down I felt over Lyme disease. Like I didn't think it was, I don't know. I thought people would think I was crazy that I was, parenting from a chair and all these things. And so when it changed for me, I was like, I got to share. And so I made a post. I had a bunch of people comment on it, which I was really blown away by because I didn't even think that like I would have 3 friends that were interested. And I went and I made the post. We had a party. I had a little secondary party the next day, and I ended up going Fast Start Gold in 12 days. And I'm just gonna be blunt and honest with you all. I have 3. So my sister-in-law, my mom, and my other sister-in-law, they are my only close people in my life that are on these products. My friends are not doing this with me. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, my friends aren't answering me, your 5 5 friends that you messaged might not be the ones that are going to join your team. And Jessica Heffley just kind of slapped me in the gut the other day, or punched me in the gut the other day, when she said, "You're going to have to meet strangers." And I'm like, no, don't make me do that. But yeah, so if you're messaging people and you're getting nothing back from your closest friends, that's okay. Like, I'm still super close with my friends. Just because I'm in this business doesn't mean I have to not be friends with them, but you're gonna have to go find more people. But yeah, that voice message changed my life. And I was just telling someone on one of our messages today, had she messaged me a month earlier, it would have been no. I would have not taken her up on it. It just was the perfect timing. So just, if you feel called to message someone, do it, because there's a reason that you're feeling that nudge. There's a reason why that person came up. And I just had someone tonight. I'm actually talking to Brooke right now about some of this, but I just had someone tonight who has been on the same like IVF trail that I went on, the same like child or infant losses that I had went through. And I have been telling her, like, I wish I had these products because I think it would have changed everything. I messaged her the very first month that I started sharing about Plexus, and she just messaged me tonight and she's ready. And it's like, it took a whole year, but you know, they are still watching. And she's like, "You're just so respectful by not like cramming it down my throat, but still asking," you know, like she still knows that my business is open. So I'm sorry. I just took the call away and I didn't mean to do that.
No, you're good. But I wanted Ashley to hear the power of specifically, intentionally, and boldly reaching out, because it's okay if people aren't open. You're just seeing if the door is cracked open or not. And you want you want to be the first person to introduce them to these products and the opportunity, not for them to hear about it from somebody else. And so I've had so many people come back to me because I was the first person that told them about Plexus, including my sweet friend Diane, who I shared with fear and trepidation a triplex pamphlet when I dropped off frozen chickens that my kids raised at her house like 7 years ago. And she just started last summer. She's like, "Hey, I've heard enough about Plexus from all my friends, and I'm coming back to you because you were the first person that shared with me." And so I just want you to boldly like contact your whole network that and tell them what you're doing and why. I mean, and it can be a halting, like not super flashy, amazing 28-second voice clip like I sent. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to do it. So does that freak you out for me to give you that challenge?
I've gotten a lot better. I would say maybe a few months ago it would freak me out, but I've definitely been a little bit more bolder with some of my conversations. So I think I'm ready for that challenge. I need something to push me.
Well, and to go gold by the end of the month, like to get 16 people to say yes, which there's different ways that this can slice, right? So you could get 4 people that each share with 4 friends. Ideally, that's what we would love. But as we know, until people are ready to share and want to work the business with us, sometimes it falls back onto, well, I signed my 4, none of them are ready to share yet. So I'm going to go work with some more people. And so in order to sign 16 people, or potentially 4, and help them share with more, there's going to have to be you're going to have to multiply that number by like 10, just because not everyone responds back. Most actually don't. And so don't make that mean anything about you or, you know, them wanting to try these products. I mean, I have had multiple people that are now working the business with me that did not reply back to like multiple messages that I sent. And it's okay. You can't make it mean anything about you. But just to know that like this is the work. It's, you know, connecting and contacting people and letting them know what you have. And I keep it super casual. Like I even tell people, like, if you're not interested, like you're not going to hurt my feelings. Like I will even say that, like, no worries. Even if they reply back, because I get a lot of gracious no's, not a lot, but I get some gracious no's, and they'll be like, "Hey, like that's so sweet of you to think of me. I'm not really interested." But I always turn that around into a, "Well, who do you know?" And then I list off multiple symptoms, because a lot of times people have in their mind Plexus equals, and it's like, whatever, weight loss. And so they don't think that they need that or whatever. But when they're like, oh, actually my daughter-in-law deals with migraines, or, oh, I didn't know this helped with PCOS and endometriosis and hormone problems. Like, so I feel like it can potentially turn those no's into more of a conversation, maybe even down the road. So, okay, you had mentioned in your little sheets that you're kind of afraid of cold contact. So now I just like totally freaked you out probably by challenging you to do it.
Well,
just talking about
a little bit. Like I said, Julie had me start a couple nights ago. So I've already started that a little bit. So we're getting there.
Okay. Well, and sometimes just talking through it and or thinking like, what's the worst case scenario? A, they don't respond back. B, they tell me no. 3, best case scenario is like they're interested. And the more you do it, the more you're going to increase the yeses that you get back, or at least interest. Like, oh, how funny. I was going to message you. I've been seeing your posts. Like, you'll get those little glimmers and encouragements of little hope, right? Because people stalk your stuff for a while before they let you know that they're looking at it, you know? Let's see. Okay, so your KPI sheet said that you wanted to start 5 new conversations this week. So curious if you've done that yet.
I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
I started them yesterday, and then I've actually talked to a few more people today. So Perfect. I feel like it's going well.
Okay. And so are they turning into conversations? Are you hearing back from some people?
Yeah, I'm hearing back from a few people.
Okay. Well, keep doing that. Like, you set your little threshold at 5. Sometimes once you hit your 5, you're like, oh, well, that was kind of fun. And I didn't die. Let's do 5 more, you know? And if Julia is sending screenshots of people, I remember Carissa saying Jessica was sending her screenshots of people, like scary people that she didn't want to message. And so don't discount anybody, really. Like, don't prejudge. I have been shocked at the people I thought would rock this business and totally didn't, or have yet to say yes. And then I've been shocked with people that I didn't think would ever in a million years do this, and they totally have, either products, business, or both. So it's like this huge ball of like expectant faith. Like, I know people need these products. I know people need this business. Let's see who's game, you know? So, okay. If you had to guess what's keeping you back from continued growth, we kind of went through this a little bit, but what would it be?
Time commitments. I don't put in the time I need to.
Okay.
So I'm like you. I have a lot of kids. I have 8, 6 at home right now. I babysit during the day, but then I'm an on-call nurse at night. And then I work weekends as a different nursing job at the hospital. And I'm going through a nasty divorce. And yeah, I just don't spend any of the time I need to.
On Plexus, or as much time as you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I have little times that I can, but then I'm doing other stuff. And so I just need to be more intentional in the time I'm actually spending on Plexus and making that time count.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the thing, is just like pre-deciding, like maybe when those little pockets are going to be, or sometimes like I've worked this business through very crazy seasons of postpartum pregnancies. I went diamond and had 2 babies in that, or I just had a baby and then had another baby in that time period. So we know the mommy fog, you're up at night, like, but I was up at night anyway, like with a baby. And so it was like, well, I have my little list of people I'm going to reach out to. So it's like finding those little pockets in little snatches of time, because they are there. And then I think it also goes back to like what your vision is for what this can be. Because if like I would love to phase out of that night nurse job or whatever on-call thing, figuring out like how much money you need to make with Plexus to cover that. So because working from your bed at home, like doing Plexus and helping people get healthy, like that is fun work. And doing more of that than, having to be on call or whatever at nighttime, just thinking like through like what the pain point versus what you want life to look like, and all of those things. I know you can do it, girl.
I know. I just have to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Well,
great team.
and yes, you have so much support. And also, have you chatted with your kids about it?
A little bit. They're not as supportive, but Cassie actually helped me at convention because I was really struggling with that because they just see mom on her phone. They don't understand that it's working. And so, because they know, like, when I'm working as a nurse, like, I'm not home.
Mm-hmm.
So they understand, like, when I'm at home, I can also be working. This is a different, even though they're seeing two different sides of me working, it's the same thing and they have to respect that. So I
Mm-hmm.
do need to have more of a conversation with them.
Yeah. So your two challenges from me is number one, boldly message about the products and or the business to your people you're going to connect with. And then the second thing would be do have a little shareholders meeting with your kids, or at least your older kids, even with your littler kids, because they can understand like, hey, when mommy's on the phone, like I'm not scrolling, like I'm helping. You could even show them like I'm helping people with, get started on the Plexus supplements. And if we can help enough people do that, then mommy's not going to have to leave to go to work. And like with your bigger kids, there's actually a little video on my Momentum Makers group that may be helpful for you to listen to that Carissa did a couple of years ago. Just such helpful like mom info. But just how to kind of organize your day or to carve out some more time so that like the kids are doing the dishes or that the kids are helping each other with homework, or maybe older kids are helping with bath time, bedtime routine, where it carves out 20-30 minutes for you during kitchen cleanup, where you can tap in and bang out some stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
even the simplicity of just communicating with your kids and kind of maybe divvying up some more chores so that you're not feeling like you're doing it all the time.
Hey Meg, can I chime something in here on this? So we've all heard that like our time is our most precious resource, but the truth is our attention is what is the real meat of that, is our attention. And so you can accomplish so much with undivided attention. So if you, let's say, have some fun playtime with your kids, and then you say, okay, mama is going to bust out 40 minutes of Plexus, and we're talking crystal clear focus, dialed in, all attention on what produces the most income, which is those brandy messages, like those, voice message to those people that you believe in. We can do so much with that compared to the frazzled, fragmented, like I'm supposed to be making my kids lunch, but I'm over here trying to message. That ends up leaving us feeling super frustrated, and it's like way lower impact. So Ashley, I'm not saying it just to you, but to everybody, that like if we can really discipline ourselves when it comes to our focus and our attention and just be where we're at in the time we say we're going to be there. Like if I'm going to be focusing on Plexus for these 40 minutes, I am laser focused on it and everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. And then when I'm with my kiddos, I'm laser focused on them and they're not resenting that I'm over here trying to multitask, because the truth is we can multitask, but we can't multifocus. So we're doing multiple tasks, but we're only able to focus on one thing at a time. And then every other task feels so that's a little bit of that video Megan was talking about, but just wanted to.
Carissa is such a great example of that, and just being very disciplined with her time and her focus and her energy. And, I feel like the follow-up of, those messages that can happen in nooks and crannies, throughout the day, or you're in the carpool line waiting on the kids or waiting on kids to get out of practice or whatever. But having some intentional focused time, or maybe you just decide at the beginning of the week when those times are. Sometimes if I know like Tuesday afternoon from 2 to 4, like kids are going to be with hubby or mom or somebody, and I can not do housework. I like that is my focus Plexus time, and whatever is not getting done, like I can bang it out then. That has brought so much peace. Or I realize I have to get back to that so that I'm working from a peaceful, purposeful place, not flying by the seat of my pants or tyranny of the urgent, just, everything's just chaos all the time. So I'm excited for you. I cannot wait to see you go gold, you and Jonna both, and everyone else on this call. I know it's a huge rank up month for a lot of people. And so just know that you're prayed for and you're believed in. And I cannot wait to see the people that you guys, you, Ashley and Jonna and everyone else help this month. It's going to be exciting. All righty, guys, I got to run. Thanks for being on.
Bye, everyone. Night.
Night.